welcome to RPM, Rock and Pop Mandolin, your destination for learning classic rock and pop songs on this wonderful little 8-stringed instrument. My name is Mike DeJong. Today we're looking at a classic from Down Under, from the Australian Kiwi band, probably mostly Kiwi. Crowded House is the name of the band, and this song is called Better Be Home Soon. It's actually a really nice song that most people think is a tender love song, tender love ballad, but actually kind of in the way that The Police's Every Breath You Take is not really a love song. This one isn't either. Check out the lyrics. But anyway, it's a lot of fun to play. There's a lot of cool, interesting chord changes, and Neil Finn really throws a few curveballs in this song for you, so you can play it easily on the mandolin. I will show you all of those chord changes and parts coming up in this tutorial. But first, before we get to that lesson, please, if you're new to the site, thank you very much for checking us out. But don't forget to hit that little red subscriber button on the way out. Leave us a like as well if you like this video, and check out many others on this channel. If you are a returning subscriber, once again, thank you for coming back and checking us out again. And also, please leave us a like if you really do like this video. Maybe you want to check out our Patreon and Amazon links down below. We're doing some exciting things over on Patreon, including live mandolin jam sessions every month. So check out that in the links below. But now, without further ado, let's take a look at this Crowded House song called Better Be Home Soon here on RPM. Okay, taking a look at Better Be Home Soon. It's in the key of C, and it involves some nice chord progressions in the key of C. Starts off with a really nice intro, though, where Neil Finn kind of changes up on the rhythm a little bit on the C chord, an opening C chord. So I'm playing that C chord here, basic C chord voicing with the middle finger here on the 5th fret of the G, and then the 2nd fret of the D string, of course, and then the 3rd fret, the high C note there on the A string, okay? So that's a C chord, but what Neil Finn does at the beginning, he does a little bit of a rhythmic change, a little bit of a curveball here, all the way from down under, as it were. So, you see what I did there? I kind of went bass and then upper strings, bass and higher strings, bass, higher strings. Okay, so I'm kind of catching that C note here, which is the lowest note in this chord, first, and then I'm going off those two notes as well after that, which is the other part of the C chord, right? So we're going, right, and then you're coming back for a couple of beats on that low C note again. So you're alternating between downstrokes there and then up and down strokes on the higher notes there. So, and then right at the end, you're going low to high there, right at the end of that riff there. So, like that. Okay, and then from there, he goes into the main chord progression, and the chords are, I'll show you the chords first, and then the pattern, how it goes about here. So we start off with the C chord, as I showed you. Then you go to an A minor chord. All right, now, you can use either A minor voicing. In fact, I probably used both in my little bit off the top of this video, but C and then A minor, which this voicing is 2nd fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, right? Or you could play this A minor, which is the same as that C chord I showed you, but just take your middle finger off, right? And have that open A string, like that. So, okay, so you're going C chord for a few beats, and just basically up and down strumming here, like this. Okay, so that A minor chord. Then you go to an E minor chord, which is here. Then to the G and an F. Okay, so C chord, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you change those last two chords after 2 beats. All the other chords go for 4 beats, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, A minor, so C to A minor to E minor, Okay, so that E minor chord, of course, is played down here. 2nd fret of the D string, 2nd fret of the A. That's E minor. Then, of course, your main G chord. You all know that G chord there, right? 2nd here, 3rd here. And then this F chord, all right, that's the 5th fret here of the G string, 3rd fret of the D, open A, and 1st fret of the E, that F chord, that open A ringing. It's a really nice little chord there. So the chords go again like this. Somewhere deep inside, A minor, something's got a hold on you. That's an E minor. G. Same thing again, pushing me aside, the E minor coming here. And then this time you just stay on the G for 4 beats before you switch to the next part, okay? You don't go to the F chord the 2nd time through the verses, all right? Just the 1st time. Okay, so after you go... Okay, so what's that part? Well, after you go, I'm sure I'm right. Right where he goes, I'm right for the first time in my life. Okay, so that's a really interesting chord combination there. He comes back to the C, I'm sure I'm right, and then he goes to a C7 chord for the first time in my life to that F chord again. Okay, so C chord, your C7 chord now is just moving this note down to here and still on that one. So that's a 2nd fret of the D string and 1st fret of the A string now and E open. Okay, so for the first time in my life, as I said, that's an F chord. You better to a G. You better be home soon. Okay, so running through that whole pattern again. Somewhere. Somewhere deep inside, something's got a hold on you. Something like it's pushing me aside to stretch on forever, right? Stay on the G, I know that I'm right for the first time in my life. That's why I tell you, you better be home soon. Okay, I delayed that last bit there, but that's just C to G again to end the verse. Okay? And, you know, when I was on that F chord, some of those chords I like to kind of do a little hammer-on note, like that. So I'm hammering on that middle finger here on the F chord at that F note, which is the 3rd fret of the D string there. So, and I'm doing something similar on the G chord, hammering the 1st note there, right, with my 1st finger. Okay? And those are the verses for Better Be Home Soon. All right, after the verses and choruses basically are the same, you have a middle 8 section, which is pretty cool, and it goes to, well, it kind of changes key a little bit and adds some B flats in there, which are kind of neat, and I'll show you that. All right, so it goes, so after you go somewhere, yeah, for the first time in my life, tell you, you better be home soon. Okay, so he does, on the guitar, he does a little walk down there, and you can do that here on the mandolin too. So you're walking down from that C chord that I showed you to a variation of a B chord, or maybe even a B minor chord. I'm not sure what it is, but the main notes that you need to worry about are this 4th fret here of the G string. That's a B note, and that B note up there, which is the 2nd fret of the A, and you can leave that D open, which I guess makes it a B minor. Okay, but you're walking down. It's kind of a passing chord in a way, so you're going, right? right? So you're walking down to this chord here, which is a B flat chord. All right, so the key notes here in this pattern are here. That's a C, right, on 5th fret on the G string. Then your B note, as I showed you, that's the 4th fret. Then you want to end up there on the 3rd fret of the G string, which is a root for a B chord. A root for a B flat chord there. Right, so it's the 3rd fret of this string, G string, 3rd fret of the D, and the 5th fret of the A string. Don't worry about this note right now. You don't need that note for this chord. Just play these 3 notes. All right, so one more time, you're walking down from the C, B flat, don't say no, don't say nothing's wrong, right? He's in a little bridge part there. So from that B flat chord, and you can kind of hit it with, all downstrokes here. Don't say nothing's wrong. Right? So you're going from the B flat to a D chord. Nothing's wrong. To a G chord. So one more time from the C. Nothing's wrong. Don't say nothing's wrong. Right? And then back to that B flat again. But this time you're just moving to the A chord, which is just 1 fret below. Okay, you don't go to the D chord the second time through the pattern. The first time through the pattern goes from that C to the B flat, to the D, to the G. Now you're going B flat to A, then D, and then C, okay? So, and on that D chord, as you can see, I'm putting in, again, a couple of little filler notes there to kind of give you a little bit of flavor. So, B flat to A, D. Okay? And of course, that A flat is just the same, the same configuration as your B flat. The A is just 1 fret down here. So, 2nd fret, 4th fret, there. Then you're going to the D, and as I said, you can do that little, which is 3rd fret, 2nd fret, open, 2nd fret on your E string. So, like that, okay? And from there, so let's do that again. Okay, so after you walk down from that, what I call the B flat part, you're going to that D, then a C chord, then an A minor, then an E minor. Okay, so that is D, C, A minor, E minor, and G. Okay, and then you're back to a C chord again, A minor, E minor again. Okay, one more time I'll play through that middle 8 part for you. Starts off with that C chord, of course, and then going to that. Don't say no, don't say nothing's wrong, right? G, B flat again, A, now that D part. C, A minor, E minor, G, C, A minor, E minor, now change up, F, and you stay on the F, B flat. Okay, so when you go to that F, you stay there for an extra bar on that F, then you come to that B flat, and then you just move up B, C, like that. So you just move that little progression, the configuration there, the B flat configuration, which is 3rd fret, 5th. You just slide that whole thing up with a little push, like, and you end up on the C chord, which is 5th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret here. Okay, so like that. And that's how you end off the middle 8, or the bridge section of this song. Okay, and the final part of the song involves a little breakdown where they're slowing things down and just goes something like. It would cause me pain if we were to end it, right? But I could start again. You can depend on it. Right? So what are those chords? Well, he goes, it would cause me pain if we were to end it. So that's just a C to A minor to the G this time, if we were to end it. And then, you know, if you want, you can put in that little bass riff that I did. It's a bass riff initially or originally, but you can do it on the mandolin like, right? That would sound cool if you're playing along. So what are those notes? Well, G, 5th fret of the D string here, down to the 3rd fret, open. So open and 3rd again. And end up on that 5th fret of the G string. So again, it would cause me pain if we were to end it. Something like that, right? I could. So you're right into that C chord. You might want to hit that last note as you hit that chord. That's a little tricky, but you can do it like that, okay? So I would start again, you can depend on it. So now you're on an E minor when he says, you can depend on it, but then he goes F to G. Instead of earlier patterns in the song where it's G to F, the final part of the song, it's the opposite, it's reverse. So you can depend on it, right? F, G, because I know I'm right on the back of that part. First time in my life. That's why I tell you, you better be home soon. You better be home soon, right? So he also throws in an A chord in there. Things were to end, right? I could start again. You can depend on it, E minor. And then G, so that's C, and then C7 for the first time in my life. That's the F chord. That's why I tell you, G. And then here he goes to an A. To a D, F, you better be home soon, right? And ending on a C chord. Okay, so one more time through that last pattern. It would cause me pain if we were to end it, right? I could start again. You couldn't depend on E minor. C7 for the first time in my life, F. That's why I tell you, G. Now to A. To D. F. To G. Okay, so that final part was off the G, F, to D, and then you better be home soon, and end with that C chord. Okay, that is Better Be Home Soon by Crowded House, a really fun song to play on the mandolin. Really sounds nice because it is really an acoustic guitar song, and there's some cool little chords and licks in there that you can get, but really a beautiful song, one of the best songs, I think, from Crowded House, and they are really an underrated band, in my opinion. So thanks very much for tuning in to this lesson. We really appreciate it. We really appreciate your patronage here on RPM. If you're new to the site, once again, don't forget, hit that little red subscriber button. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you very much for coming back once again. Please leave us a like if you like this video, and check out our Patreon and Amazon links down below. My name is Mike DeJong. Thanks again for watching RPM.